This is News 8 Now, this morning.
The demographics in Congress and Senate, it's mostly 65 and up. And if we want people who are more like us and have our beliefs, then we absolutely need to vote for those people.
If you do go to the polls and you make a mistake on your ballot, just let a poll worker know. You get up to 3 ballots on your election day. So if you make a mistake on the first one, we'll spoil it. We'll issue you a second ballot. That happens up until your third ballot. Once you get your third ballot, then that's the ballot that's going to go through the machine. So if you make mistakes, ask questions of the poll workers. They're there to help you.
And they finally got back to me and said, typically we would totally deny this. That would be our typical thing. But because it is artwork in a beautiful setting on the lake, John loved nature and he loved artwork, so I know he would love it, so we'll let you go ahead.
That is a preview of what we've got coming up for you here on News 8 Now this morning on this election day here on November 8th, 2022. I'm Jordan Fremstad.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
Well, Derek, as people head out to the polls this morning, polls are going to open up in less than an hour here. What can they expect as they cast their vote this morning?
Yeah, you can expect to probably bundle up out there, Jordan. It's a little cool outside with temperatures mainly into the 30s. We got 38 in La Crosse and 37 degrees in Sparta. The temperatures in Eau Claire are currently at 36 degrees. Viroqua at 33, and Winona is currently at 36 degrees. And overall, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer here compared to the last 24 hours this morning. So you'll notice it as you head out the door here too. We got cloud cover here across the Coulee region now. There is more back towards the west that is expected to move towards the east and move across the area today, making things relatively cloudy out there here as well. We will be looking at those increasing clouds in the next hour and then really continuing through at least the noon hour or so. Temperatures will be well into the upper 40s to low 50s. Between 2 to 4, that will probably be the warmest at around 53 degrees, and overall slightly warmer here for us to work with during the afternoon today as well. So stay tuned. We'll be back with the full weather forecast plus more what we can expect later this week. Jordan?
All right. Thanks a lot for that update, Derek. Every campaign faces difficult choices like when to spend money and when to hold back, and those kinds of decisions are leaving Democrats in western Wisconsin disappointed when national funding for Brad Pfaff's campaign dried up. Reporter Will Keneally explains what happened in Wisconsin's most contested congressional race.
It's like a fascinating study in how the incentives for the House of Representatives are different than the incentives for the state of Wisconsin.
For Democrats, you could try to win the House,
but that could come at quite a cost for Democrats in the state of Wisconsin.
The 3rd Congressional District is Wisconsin's most competitive House race this year, but it is likely flipping to the Republicans after 2 decades under Democrat Ron Kind. Forecasting site 538 predicts Republican Derek Van Orden to win the seat, likely by 5 percentage points. And because of that, national spending on the 3rd CD race moved on elsewhere this fall.
I think the real giveaway here was that the House Majority PAC pulled its advertising purchase, and they're going to make highly strategic decisions regarding where they think their resources are best used.
For Democrats looking to win back the House, there are closer races to spend their money on.
I don't think the grassroots here in the 3rd CD was really expecting like a ton of support. Well, of course, we would love help from the national stuff. We also weren't expecting it, so it's not like we're discouraged not to have it.
The chair of the La Crosse County Democrats says they do get some local help, though.
We're really the only purple district. And so in that sense, the state party really does focus a lot of time and energy on the 3rd CD.
And that's important for Democrats. Chergosky points out that western Wisconsin is a swingy part of the state. This could impact statewide races.
If Democrats are not turning out the vote in western Wisconsin, then that could have really important implications for the outcomes of the race for governor and Senate.
Republican candidate for Governor Tim Michels is making his final visits to Wisconsin communities ahead of the election. On Monday night, the business owner stopped by Castaways to meet voters. According to the latest Marquette poll, the race for Wisconsin's governor is in a dead heat. When asked if he would know when he'd win or need to concede the election, Michels was confident the election would come to a quick end.
Well, typically what happens is the loser calls the winner and, you know, they concede. So I'm expecting a call sometime earlier. Everything's relative.
Michaels did not indicate he wouldn't accept the results of the election. In his speech, he did say he wants to bring election honesty back to the state. In the last election, there was no proven widespread voter fraud in the state. Michaels' opponent, incumbent Tony Evers, talked about what a GOP win would mean for Wisconsin. At a canvass launch in Milwaukee on Monday, Evers said Michaels was a climate denier and is tied to the former president.
He's tied at the hip to Donald Trump, and guess what? Donald Trump's going to run for president again. So they are tied at the hip. We cannot allow this to happen.
Michaels was endorsed by former President Donald Trump before the primaries, but has not made support from Trump a central focus of his campaign. The comment comes as the former president teased ahead to an announcement.
I'm going to be making a very big announcement on Tuesday, November 15th at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida.
Trump made this announcement at a rally for U.S. Senate candidate J.D. Vance from Ohio. In recent days, the former president has said it's very probable he'll make another run for the White House. Nationwide, political experts say one group of voters may be key to winning office. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to UW-La Crosse students who may be the deciding factor in this election.
The 26th Amendment grants everyone 18 and older the right to vote.
We have that right for a reason, and it's important to share, your opinion no matter what side it is.
Historically, that right hasn't always been exercised.
Young people themselves don't get involved in the political process as much as possible.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, voter turnout among 18 to 29-year-olds for the 2014 midterm election was 20%.
In recent years, things have changed somewhat.
In 2018, voter turnout for that age group jumped to 36%. Political analyst Joe Heim says encouragement and politically active campuses are part of the reason young voter turnout continues to increase.
I think it has to do with student government and generally supportive administration that encourages people to get out and vote.
UWL student and first-time voter Maddie Burbach agrees.
It was exciting because it was like I've gotten to hear so much about voting from my parents and my friends that are older, and it was fun to be a part of the process and know I'm making a difference.
Heim says elected officials are also focused on recruiting young voters.
People in elected offices pay attention to who votes.
Last week, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders made campaign stops on 4 Wisconsin college campuses.
I just hope that we can engage them and get them out to vote.
UWL student Reed Anderson says he hopes young voters will head to the ballot and vote for representation.
The demographics in Congress and Senate, it's mostly 65 and up. And if we want people who are more like us and have our beliefs, then we absolutely need to vote for those people.
Heim says with the help of young voters, the upcoming November midterms could break records.
We could conceivably have record turnout.
Heim says one of the reasons young people will vote today in record numbers is because of social issues, including abortion. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is reminding voters of what they need to be prepared for on Election Day. As usual, voters need to bring a photo ID and be prepared to wait in long lines. This year's election looks a little different in Wisconsin. New court rulings on ballot spoiling may have voters curious of what has changed. The La Crosse County Clerk says as long as you haven't officially cast your ballot, you're in the clear.
If you do go to the polls and you make a mistake on your ballot, just let a poll worker know. You get up to 3 ballots on the election day, so if you make a mistake on the first one, we'll spoil it. We'll issue you a second ballot. That happens up until your 3rd ballot. Once you get your 3rd ballot, then that's the ballot that's going to go through the machine. So if you make mistakes, ask questions of the poll workers. They're there to help you.
All polls in Wisconsin will be open this morning at 7 o'clock, less than an hour away, and they will be open until 8 p.m. If you do get a phone call today saying polls are closed, that is not true. Dankmeyer also says people are reporting door knockers telling them their polling place has moved, which is likely not true. If you need to find your polling place, we have a link on our website that will help you. If you need a ride to your polling place this morning and throughout today, the La Crosse MTU has you covered. The MTU is offering free bus rides today. The free day is in honor of Election Day, but everyone is welcome to ride whether they're voting or not. Still to come here on this election morning, a Consumer Reports investigation found companies using Facebook to promote dangerous and illegal supplements. CR explains these ads are also targeting vulnerable users like students. And Gunderson Health System begins its annual Wrapping the Community in Warmth blanket drive. How you can help, just ahead. For now, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your Tuesday morning. People who waited until Election Day to vote should get a little extra caffeine, and it's fitting because November 8th is National Cappuccino Day. The popular Italian drink is usually made with espresso, hot milk, and steamed milk foam. Cappuccino got its name from the color of hooded robes worn by Capuchin friars. There we go. That's among the popular cappuccino flavors: French vanilla, pumpkin spice, and peppermint. It is 11 after the hour. We've got your latest forecast coming up after the break.
Gorgeous shot of the moon there, showing the partial eclipse now coming to an end here. So if you haven't had a chance yet to check it out, go outside and check it out before it comes to a close here in the next hour. We got temperatures into the 30s, 38 degrees in La Crosse and 36 the temperature in Eau Claire. Let's get checked now on your zone forecast for today. Our high temperatures will be rising well into the 50s, 53 today in Unalaska. Meanwhile, further south, it'll be 55 in Soldiers Grove and 55 here in Lafarge, 52 degrees in Viroqua, 54 in Trempealeau, and 54 here as well in Melrose. It'll be 53 and in Black River Falls, 51 today in Eau Claire, and 50 in Chippewa Falls. Your schoolcast this morning calls for 39 degrees with a few clouds, then turning cloudy here by the lunch hour, 49 degrees. Mostly cloudy this afternoon, temperatures at around 53. If you plan on heading to the polls today, we'll be looking at mainly cloudy skies, 39 degrees by the morning, 53 for your lunch hour, and overall 50 degrees by dinner time, mostly cloudy. And keep in mind, polls do close at 8 o'clock. I'll be back with a full other forecast still to come.
As millions of working Americans make their selections for open enrollment this fall, changes from the IRS now allow them to store more money away in their flexible spending and health savings accounts next year. In 2023, employees can save as much as $3,000 in their FSA. That's a 7% increase, while the amount workers can put into their HSA will go up as much as 6.2%. Airbnb is changing the way it displays pricing just in time for holiday travel. Starting next month, travelers will have the option to see the total price of a booking, including all fees and taxes, instead of just a nightly rate. The company says it will also prioritize the total price in its search ranking algorithm. This all comes after customers complained of hidden fees with the current pricing display. The Lottery Commission says the official results of the Powerball drawing won't be known until later today due to a delay with one participating lottery that is still processing sales and play data. They're advising players should hold on to their tickets for the drawing. Powerball said it will post the winning numbers in a video of that drawing to their website and YouTube channel. So hold on to those tickets and stay tuned for that. Soon, you may be able to take a Zoom meeting at a silver screen near you. AMC Theaters is partnering with Zoom to create so-called Zoom rooms in 17 U.S. locations starting next year. The world's largest movie theater chain says companies would be able to book the Zoom rooms in 3-hour blocks with equipment provided by AMC and Zoom. Concessions and movie screenings will also be available at extra cost. Facebook fans are used to seeing ads, including some for supplements that make health claims, everything from treating diabetes to boosting brain power. But a new Consumer Reports investigation finds many of these ads target vulnerable Facebook users with products that can be dangerous and illegal.
With allusions to boosting brain power and curing insomnia, certain Facebook ads caught the attention of Consumer Reports investigative reporter Kaveh Waddell.
We found ads and posts that promoted the use of some supplements that are dangerous or even illegal. For example, we found a series of posts from a verified Facebook page that promoted the use of Comfrey, which is a dangerous supplement.
CR's investigation also found a disturbing trend. Some of the supplement ads targeted specific groups of people.
We found some ads that targeted people who Facebook thought were interested in diabetes awareness, and Facebook was allowing marketers to put ads in front of those people that marketed things like a reverse diabetes kit. And of course, medical experts say that supplements in general can't cure or reverse diabetes.
New Life USA took down that product listing, and its CEO told CR he thinks that people with diabetes should continue to work with their doctors, but he also said they should wean themselves off medication. CR also found dangerous supplements being sold on Facebook Marketplace, a part of Facebook where users can buy and sell new and used items, including Kratom, which the Drug Enforcement Agency lists as a drug of concern. Facebook said the Kratom listing violated the platform's rules, and soon after CR started asking questions, most of the Kratom listings had disappeared. But even if these ads for dangerous supplements are taken down, that might not solve the larger problem.
So unlike a medication, for example, where clinical trials have to be presented to the FDA before something can be approved and be sold, these supplements might end up on the shelves. They're not going through a filter beforehand.
In general, check with your doctor before trying new supplements, and be sure to search for information about them in official sources like the NIH's MedlinePlus.gov. This is David Fazekas.
If you ever feel sick from taking a supplement, you should report it to the FDA as what is called an adverse event.
Well, it sure is a gorgeous start here across much of the Coulee region. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, go outside and check out the lunar eclipse that we have going on, because the next one, at least reported, isn't until the next 3 years. It's kind of what we call a blood moon shot, and you can see the partial lunar eclipse is currently ending here as well. So it's almost done. Try to get outside and check it out if you can. 38 degrees, clear skies, southeast winds at 6, a feel-like temperature of 33. But if you're in Eau Claire, you're currently at 36 degrees with a east wind at around 8 miles an hour. We have a feel-like temperature as well at around 30 degrees in this area too. Winona's currently at 36, Volkfield's at 37, Viroqua currently at 33 degrees. And overall about a 5 to 10 degree warmer difference compared to what we were just dealing with here yesterday. About 7 degrees warmer, as a matter of fact, if you're in Eau Claire this morning as well. 38 degrees and mostly cloudy at 7, and then by noon we're cloudy, 49 degrees there, and then mostly cloudy at 5 p.m. Temperatures at 50, mostly cloudy, 50 degrees early this evening at around 9 p.m. Now we had some cloudy skies overnight, or looks like we're getting a break in that right now, but there are some cloudier skies back towards the west that are beginning to move in and take shape. We're currently under the influence of high pressure to the north here at the surface that is driving more of an east to southeast wind breeze combined with the cloudy skies overhead has kept us relatively warm here at night. Now as we go west, you can see that we are watching our next system. This is a trough of low pressure, and that system is forecast to move east and also give us some mainly cloudy skies here to work with over the next couple of days. And we may even see some shower activity here this evening and also into overnight. A couple of spotty showers, but most of the heavier showers are going to be well to our north. And some of those leftover scattered showers here may last into early Wednesday morning and also into the 6 a.m. hour here as well. Otherwise, it will just be mainly cloudy if you don't see any of those showers. Most of those showers, though, should come to a close by 10 a.m. on Wednesday tomorrow. And then cloudy skies here still affecting us here for much of the day tomorrow as well. Keep in mind, we got that south wind out ahead of that system, so it's going to be pretty warm despite the cloud cover here overhead. But we will be looking at some pretty good rain chances, though, as that system closes in, especially on Thursday. So keep in mind on that, and 60% likelihoods there on Thursday as well, so something to watch out for. Friday, whatever left over behind that storm system could result in a couple of light snow flurries here as temperatures will drop into the 30s and highs remain to the 30s, not just Friday, but through the weekend and also into early next week. Stay with us, though. Much more news and weather is still to come right here on News 8 Now this morning. But we are taking a quick break for now with a look at what happened on this day in history on November 8th. We'll be right back. Things are looking pretty cloudy here this morning across the Coulee region, and there is some more cloud cover back towards the west that we're currently monitoring as well for you. Current temperatures as you head out the door are mainly in the 30s. We got 38 in La Crosse, 36 in Eau Claire, and 37 degrees the temperature now in Sparta. If you're planning on walking the dog this morning, looking at mostly cloudy conditions here during the morning, and we got cloudy skies for the afternoon, and then things will turn mostly cloudy again by the time we reach this evening. Stay tuned. I'll have a check on your commute forecast next in weather.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Yesterday was a huge day for basketball. All 30 NBA teams were in action, and it was the start of both the men's and women's college basketball season, which means it's the return of Wisconsin basketball. Jordan Davis and the team were up against South Dakota. First half, Wisconsin leading. Here's Davis, gets the ball. He's going to try to pass it inside, but it gets tipped around. He gets the deflection and puts it back in for the score for the La Crosse natives' first points of the season. First half winding down, Chucky Hepburn dribbling up the court. He has Jacoby Neat in the corner. He nails the three. Badgers would go into half with a 10-point lead, and in the second half, Badgers playing some defense. Tyler Wall gets the strip on the breakaway, slam dunk. Badgers get the win, 85-59. All right, and the Bucks, they're going for their 10th straight win to start the season up against the Hawks. First quarter, Giannis doing his thing, gets the ball with room to work and just going to the basket. Up and in for the 5-point lead. Later in the first, Bobby Portis, he finds Grayson Allen from well behind the arc, and he drains it. Bucks led by 11 after the first quarter. In the second, Holiday on the inbounds all the way to the other end of the court to Giannis, and that's just too easy for him. But the Hawks, they would hang tough. And in the second half, DeJounte Murray on the pick and roll, hits the jumper. Hawks go up 2. And then in transition, A.J. Griffin for 3. That's no good. Boyueko Okwongwo is there with the putback slam. Hawks go up 11 and hand Milwaukee their first loss of the season. Timberwolves hosting Knicks at home early in this one. D'Angelo Russell with a hand in the face, but he beats the buzzer. This one's tied. Timberwolves trailing for most of this game, but Anthony Edwards drains the 3 in the second half, but the comeback is going to fall a little short, 118-101 in favor of the Knicks. That's all I got for now, but we'll have a lot more later this evening. We'll be right back.
Breaking overnight, Mexican authorities intercepted over 1.3 tons of packages floating in the Pacific Ocean believed to contain cocaine, officials said on Monday. Dozens of packages were found off the coast of an operation carried out by the Mexican Navy and the Army on October 30th. Flights between Colombia and Venezuela have officially resumed after a 2-year hiatus. Colombia's Minister of Transportation said that they hope to add more routes and airlines in the upcoming days. In September, Colombia's president and Venezuela's president announced that commercial flights will be renewed after being suspended since March of 2020. This is part of a new type of diplomatic relationship between Colombia and Venezuela. Florida is bracing for another hurricane less than 2 months after Ian devastated the state. The National Weather Service says the storm Nicole is expected to hit the Bahamas tonight before making landfall on Florida's east coast on Wednesday. Nicole is also expected to bring dangerous storm surge as far north as Georgia. The party that wins control of the U.S. House today will be able to pick the House Speaker. 2 people are likely eyeing for that role. Amy Kiley reports on their pitches to voters.
Control of the U.S. House is on the line today, and the winning party will have the power to pick the House Speaker.
If we win the majority, I'll run for Speaker.
Representative Kevin McCarthy of California is minority leader now. Here's what the Republican says he would do in the top job.
First thing we're going to do is make sure an economy that's strong. I think the first thing you'll see is a bill to control the border first. The first thing, I'll ask the president not to call half the nation idiots.
Incumbent House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave this message to voters last night.
A vote tomorrow is a vote to defend our democracy.
For the first time, she has opened up about the attack on her husband October 28th. She says she wasn't there when the intruder broke into their home because she was sleeping in Washington.
I hear the doorbell ring and think, it's 5-something, and I'm thinking my children, my grandchildren.
David DePape is charged with attempted murder for the attack. He has pleaded not guilty.
For me, this is really the hard part because Paul was not the target, and he's the one who's paying the price.
Asked if she'll retire if Democrats lose the House.
I have to say my decision will be affected about what happened the last week or two.
Now, Paul Pelosi is recovering from surgery to repair a skull fracture. His wife says he's doing well, but he is in for a long recovery. She says he's worried the attack will take a toll on their children and grandchildren. Back here at home, we do hope to learn more about the body La Crosse police found Friday morning last week in Cameron Park. Police say there are no safety concerns, but some community members disagree. The body was located near the park playground and across the street from apartments, downtown businesses, and a La Crosse school. Police have not identified the woman, but tell us she frequented the park. La Crosse police say their officers' use of force when responding to a call at Houska Park was justified. News 8 Now received body cam footage of that October incident. La Crosse police say Officer Daniel Howe responded to a welfare check at Houska Park. As we can see in the body cam video, Howe asked the man for his ID and the man refused. When asked to put his arms behind his back, the man refused. As you can see, Howe's body cam was knocked to the ground. When the man refused that order, Officer Howe forced him to the ground. That's when Howe says the man grabbed for his taser and Howe was forced to strike him. Captain Avery Schott says Officer Howe's use of force was appropriate.
The individual chose not to want to comply, and sometimes that does happen, even with the, best intentions and best efforts of our staff members.
According to the department, in 2021, just over 1% of police interactions involved use of force, and the man arrested has been released from jail. As the temperatures drop, a local health organization hopes to make sure everyone in the community can stay warm this winter season. Gunderson Health System kicked off its annual Wrapping the Community in Warmth blanket drive on Monday. The system's Department of Nursing is asking the community to donate newly bought or handmade blankets to Gunderson Clinic locations. From there, dozens of area partners like the Salvation Army and the La Crosse County Department of Human Services can give them to those in need. Organizers say the warmth and sense of security a blanket provides us is a feeling everyone in the community should be able to have this time of year.
By getting these blankets, we're able to donate to more than 20 agencies around the tri-state region so that we can offer just a little bit of those same feelings to those who maybe need it a little bit more than we do.
Bueller says they usually receive 700 donated blankets each year they do this. The drive will run until Friday, December 2nd. If you're interested in donating, we have the location of those drop boxes at news8000.com. Onalaska's Great River Landing has a new welcome feature thanks to a nonprofit dedicated to the arts. Monday night, the Onalaska Art Keepers dedicated a brand new ceramic plaque to complement the nearby Nature's Backyard sculpture. The ceramic plaque, made with a stained glass frame and an interactive music box that plays a recording of the Nature's Backyard song Oaks Artist. Director says that song is to the tune of John Denver's Country Road, something John Denver's estate almost didn't allow.
And they finally got back to me and said, typically we would totally deny this. That would be our typical thing. But because it is artwork in a beautiful setting on the lake, John loved nature and he loved artwork, so I know he would love it, so we'll let you go ahead.
Now, Joyce says the group is looking forward to next year. They're exploring some mural projects and a rocking horse sunfish, among others. Onalaska business owners got a visit from the Secretary-designee of the Department of Administration. Officials are speaking to people who got bounce-back grants from the state to help them recover from business expenses lost because of the pandemic. The group stopped at Express Printing. The owner of the print shop says the grant came as a surprise and was a big help in getting her store moved to a new location.
We were in pretty bad condition from the pandemic the way it was. So this really helped in all aspects. Every aspect of my business was touched by this money, so.
$10,000 grants went out to Wisconsin businesses. That money came from the American Rescue Plan Act. For the third year, Mayo Clinic Health System is bringing coaches, parents, and athletes together for a youth sports symposium. The free event aims to educate everyone about sports medicine, how to reduce injury, and increase performance. Symposium leaders are choosing a different focus this year.
Last year, we focused a lot on injury prevention. This year will be a little bit more on nutrition, recovery, body image, and then some injuries that can go along with undereating.
The event is free. A movement seminar for young athletes and parents starts at 7:30 in the morning at UWL's Student Union. The symposium starts right after. We have more info on our website at news8000.com. A heads up for La Crosse County hikers this morning. The northern segment of the Grand Crossing Trail from River Valley Drive to the south side of the pedestrian bridge will be closed starting today. Crews are doing shoreline maintenance. The trail is expected to reopen again on November 15th.
Things are looking a bit cloudy here now across the Coulee region as we're starting to see some clouds increase from the west of this morning. Our current temperatures are in the 30s. We got 32 at the freezing mark here exactly in Viroqua, 30 in Bosquebel, and 38 degrees in Black River Falls, but we're seeing 36 degrees currently to the north in Eau Claire. Today's forecast does call for those clouds to hang around today, 53 degrees, and overall slightly warmer though. Southeast winds to thank for that at 10 to 20 miles an hour. For tonight, cloudy skies linger. There is a chance of showers here as well. 48 degrees, south-southeast winds at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. Your drive forecast for today does look a little on the cloudy side here, and those clouds will continue as we head into your lunch hour as well, followed by those mainly cloudy weather conditions lasting all the way into those evening hours here on your way back from work and school here too. But stay tuned. We'll have a final check on the full weather forecast still to come next in weather. Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Derek. Well, Top Gun Maverick has flown out of theaters. See how high the long-awaited sequel flew during its box office run. We'll have your Buzz Report coming up right after the break. It is 18 to the top of the hour. We'll be right back.
Very cloudy start here from City Cam 8 facing downtown La Crosse, and we got current conditions now in La Crosse at 38 degrees along with those cloudy skies. Southeast winds light at 6 miles an hour. We do have a feel-like temperature though of 33 degrees and a river stage of 5.30 feet and climbing. Temperatures in Eau Claire a little cooler though at 36 degrees. Visibility looking good at 10 miles. A feel-like temperature though, however, of 30 degrees when you factor in the wind at around 8 miles an hour coming from the east here. Our current conditions in Winona, at least for temperatures, are at 36 degrees. Oakfield's at 37. Viroqua at the freezing mark, though, at 32 degrees. But I can tell you, though, it's a bit warmer here as you head out the door this morning, or at least about 5 to 10 degrees or so of a warmer difference. We'll be looking at skies kind of fluctuating between mostly cloudy to cloudy here throughout the afternoon, with temperatures warming up into the 50s as we head into the late afternoon hours. We had some pretty cloudy weather conditions overnight. Now we're starting to get a bit of a break in those clouds, but you can see there's some more cloudier weather beginning to stream in from the west. And if we widen out the view, you can see that there's plenty more cloud cover back towards the west, which is associated with a system we'll talk about in a second. But our first system here is a high pressure one, and that's mainly to our north. But it is controlling our weather, giving us quiet and dry conditions. However, you can kind of see that east-southeast wind motion here across the upper Midwest, and that's keeping us relatively warm, combined with the cloud cover that we had overnight as well, also that kept us warm. Now, this next system is a trough of low pressure back to the west across the Rockies and also here across the upper plains, and this system is expected to move our way. And what it's going to do, well, it's going to really increase or enhance the cloud cover across the area over the next couple of days, and also the moisture, which we'll get to here in a second. And speaking of that, we may even see some rain showers here develop across portions of eastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin late this afternoon, and also especially as we head into the early evening. That's why our rain chances are looking a little bit elevated here for tonight, as the showers here may develop. And those showers may even last into the overnight hours and also into early tomorrow morning too, before most of that activity should all come to a close by later tomorrow morning. However, it's still going to look relatively cloudy around here associated with that storm system that continues to move in. And also, don't forget, we'll have that south wind motion throughout the day tomorrow. And that's going to bring in very warm air across much of the Coulee region. Despite the cloud cover here overhead, things will look well above average as far as our high temperatures go. And you'll see that here on the 8-day forecast. As a matter of fact, with highs reaching the mid to upper 60s tomorrow and also into Thursday. Thursday, we're looking likely to have good chances of rain and thunderstorms. On the backside of that storm system, we may be looking at some leftover precipitation that could contain some snow flurries on Friday.
In our Buzz Report this morning, Top Gun Maverick has completed its domestic box office mission. Industry tracker Exhibitor Relations reports Tom Cruise's action flick ended its theatrical run with $716.7 million, over $300 million more than the second biggest movie of 2022 so far. Kratos is back in God of War Ragnarok. The highly anticipated video game features Stargate SG-1 actor Christopher Judge as the voice of the title character. The game releases for the PlayStation 4 and 5 tomorrow. One of the year's most anticipated movies is the sequel to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Since Wakanda is a fictional American nation, it seems appropriate that the movie premieres in Africa. That's the first for a Marvel movie. The stars and filmmakers of Wakanda Forever attended the Black Carpet event in Lagos on Sunday. With that in mind, we have got a birthday to celebrate this morning.
That's right. Happy 80th birthday to Lloyd. Now, he enjoys exploring the back roads with his spider and traveling with his wife.
I love the photo, Lloyd.
I do too.
Look like you're having
cool.
fun. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com and look for the Submit Pictures button. That's under the Home tab on our website.
Well, you know the drill. We hope you can stay with us this morning. We've got everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less, plus your latest forecast coming up next. Your morning news now here on this Election Tuesday. News 8 Now is tracking nearly a dozen school and public safety referendums today. In addition to local, state, and federal races, our midterm election coverage kicks off here on News 8 Now, and we're going to keep you updated online and on air until all of the results are in. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is reminding voters of what they need to be prepared for on Election Day. As usual, voters need to bring a photo ID and be prepared to wait in long lines. This year's election looks a little different in Wisconsin. New court rulings on ballot spoiling may have voters curious of what has changed. La Crosse County's clerk says as long as you haven't officially cast your ballot, you are in the clear.
If you do go to the polls and you make a mistake on your ballot, just let a poll worker know. You get up to 3 ballots on your election day, so if you make a mistake on the first one, we'll spoil it, we'll give you a second ballot. That happens up until your 3rd ballot. Once you get your 3rd ballot, then that's the ballot that's going to go through the machine. So if you make mistakes, ask questions of the poll workers. They're there to help you.
All polls in Wisconsin will be open this morning. That's in less than 6 minutes here at 7 o'clock. They'll remain open until 8 o'clock tonight. And if you get a phone call today saying the polls are closed, that is not true. Dankmeyer also says people are reporting door knockers telling them their polling place has moved, which is likely not true. If you need to find your polling place, we have a link on our website that will help you. If you need a ride to your polling place today, the La Crosse MTU has you covered. The MTU is offering free bus rides today. The free day is in honor of Election Day, but everyone is welcome to ride whether they are voting or not.
Temperatures this morning into the upper 30s under mostly cloudy skies. Those skies will turn mainly cloudy here pretty much throughout the day today, though, and temperatures will be slightly warmer as highs will pick up into the low 50s come later this afternoon.
For the 3rd year, Mayo Clinic Health System is bringing coaches, parents, and athletes together for a youth sports symposium. The free event aims to educate everyone about sports medicine, how to reduce injury, and increase performance. Symposium leaders are choosing a different focus this year.
Last year we focused a lot on injury prevention. This year will be a little bit more on nutrition, recovery, body image, and then some injuries that can go along with undereating.
The event is free. A movement seminar for young athletes and parents starts at 7:30 in the morning at UW La Crosse's Student Union. The symposium starts right after. We have more info on our website at news8000.com. A heads up for La Crosse County hikers this morning. The northern segment of the Grand Crossing Trail from River Valley Drive to the south side of the pedestrian bridge will be closed starting today. Crews are doing shoreline maintenance. That trail is expected to reopen on November 15th.
And well, Jordan, I know we've been talking about the voting here all morning long, so here's a quick check on your voting forecast today. If you're heading to the polls this morning, 39 degrees, 53 by the lunch hour, and dinner time, mainly cloudy, 50 degrees.
CBS Mornings follows us here. We hope you have a great day.